Not anything super exciting going on. I'm going to be looking at the AA earnings, Discover Card, and Las Vegas Sands. Wow, big jump here on Alcoa. Not seeing any crazy orders come in, though, on times and sales. However, we did see some decent sell orders over here on Discover Card. Las Vegas Sands, they had some big buys here, 400,000 shares. It's up on Rod. It's going on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. So yeah, I'm just gonna watch these, see what happens. I do have one more ETF to show you guys, which is actually kind of interesting after doing some research on it. So we'll see what happens with these. I'm gonna wait for these numbers to come out here. Gonna be about 30 minutes. So maybe as I wait, I'll pop in and start doing that ETF. Let me see when these numbers come out here on Discover Card. One sec. So earnings 417. I don't see a time though. That's interesting. Maybe their call is in the morning. Well, so the earnings call is in the morning. I haven't seen this before. So the conference call that's public happens tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern, but their numbers should come out here any second. So cool. What's up, Duco? Hi, Nikki. Quite a few people on X. Once again, what's up? You guys can ask questions as well. You know, these aren't the most exciting names, so I don't expect anything crazy. I do think Discover Card will be interesting just because we're having a couple bank earnings lately. Las Vegas Sands, I did mention earlier that we got some decent buying here right at close, about 402,000 shares. We actually got 195,000 share sells on Discover Card. Something to consider, though, over here on Discover, we saw JPM get hit on their earnings recently. Let's kind of just zoom out here a little bit. So, yeah, pretty decent spike down here on JPM. I believe Goldman actually went up. Citibank's pulled back on their earnings. Wow, look at the selling pressure here on Citibank at close. That's interesting. So we'll wait on that. Alcoa, though, they did have they had a pop here and they're already back down. So we'll see what happens on that. We got full hour till that comes out, so that's a while. But yeah, if you guys have any just normal questions, ask away. I will be going over an ETF though, and I should probably get into that now before the numbers come out. But I will wait for about 1 or 2 minutes. If there's any questions as of now, I'll answer those. Be happy to while we sit here and wait for these to make a move. And then I'll get into the ETF. It's pretty interesting. AA results win, Eddie. I don't. So it comes out at 5 p.m. Eastern. So I'm Central Time, so 4 for me. So, you know, the call is in an hour. So, you know, we may see kind of a move here in the next, 5, 10, 15 minutes. And it's probably going to chill out until the earnings call. So we'll see. Duco, you have an owl stalking you. I saw that on your story. But yeah, guys, I mean, ask whatever questions you want about, any ticker. It doesn't matter if it's the earnings or not. I'm just here to watch these 3 names. And then, like I said, I'll get into that ETF. The ETF is actually a gold ETF, which is kind of interesting. So you're in Cali, Eddie. Okay, nice. Man, market open at 6:30. That's tough. That's one reason why I don't know that I'd ever live on the West Coast. Pretty rough for sure. Yeah, I bet. Well, not seeing many questions, guys. So let me just run through. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Did you see love at the median analyst price of 30 before earnings in a week? Also dividend stock. Yeah. So, I mean, Southwest, just off the top of my head here, I know they had some negative news with that Boeing. Something with one of the planes happened. I don't think it was back here, but possibly. I thought it was a little bit more recent than that. There wasn't much of a move on it, but no, I didn't see that. However, love is just really not going anywhere right now, unfortunately. Just kind of stuck in this range here. So until we can break out of this, I'm just not that interested in trading it from a day trading perspective. Like you said, though, it is a dividend stock, so maybe this is probably maybe a good base to be buying into. However, on a 3-year weekly chart, I could see this breaking either way. So just keep that in mind. We'll see what happens. Stocks, Jay, you're long DSF. Well, unfortunately, we're seeing a little bit of a dip here. I don't see any number out as of yet. So let's see if there's any news. Nothing yet, but so this could obviously change. I'm guessing you're swinging earnings here. Is there a reason for that? Quite a bit of you guys on Twitter. I'll just reiterate what I'm saying here. You guys can ask whatever questions you would like. I'm here to answer them. I'm just kind of watching some earnings here to see what happens. But like I said, not the most exciting names here. Las Vegas Sands getting hit. So this is resorts, I believe. So I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't going to do that well right now. But however, after the summer months, so after this next quarter, maybe they can actually bring some good numbers out. I don't know. We'll see. Other one was Alcoa. Let me check on that real quick. Still kind of chopping around here. Okay. I always just throw profits into earnings. Well, if you're, it sounds like you understand that it's kind of a gamble. So you can either lose everything, maybe, on the rare occasions, make a good return. But not seeing any questions right now. So let me just jump into this ETF really quickly, guys. It is BAR. So what is BAR? It's something I hadn't really heard of until the last couple of days. I've been looking into it. This is something that we are told to share with y'all. So BAR, basically, a lot of the ETFs that I've been mentioning to you guys are like a 2-time leveraged ETF on a stock like Meta, Nvidia, or Tesla. This is different. This isn't any sort of leverage. Basically, it's kind of hard to buy gold because you have to have. There's a lot of fees that come with it. You have to have insurance. And then obviously, if you're buying physical gold, you have to store it, all that stuff. So what BAR basically does, it says it right here. The Granite Shares Gold Trust is designed to seek the performance of the price of gold with less trust expenses. So key features, it's physically backed. Obviously, it's backed by gold. It's cost effective. It's one of the lowest cost gold ETFs on the market. And it's listed on the NYSE and ARCA. It can be traded through a normal brokerage. So to actually buy gold, you need a metal brokerage. But what BAR does, it actually gives you the opportunity to be buying into a gold ETF just using a normal U.S. stock market brokerage. So gold has been uncorrelated to both stock and bond markets, essentially moderating market extremes and dampening portfolio volatility. It's a safe haven. Gold has behaved as a store of value during market and inflationary crisis. Gold is an asset that no one else's liability and cannot default, right? So it's pretty convenient, like it says here as well. BAR provides an investment similar to an investment in gold through a trust without having to open a metal account. So just like I said there earlier, for most investors in BAR is less expensive than buying, storing, and insuring physical gold. So it's about $23.60 a share. Obviously, there's not going to be a ton of volatility on it just because, obviously gold doesn't move that much. It's more of something you buy to hold value against inflation. So besides going through all the trouble of either buying physical gold bars or opening metal accounts and having to pay a lot of fees and whatnot, this is just a simple way to buy into gold at an ETF standpoint. So that's about all I have on this. I thought it was pretty interesting. I kind of like the ticker BAR. It's cool. But if there's any questions on that, I'd be more than happy to answer it. If not, that's going to be the BAR ETF. See what's going on here in the earnings. LVS still down here. Alcoa not really moving yet. Let's go back to LVS. That's where the action is. Let's see what you got, stocks, Jay. I'm actually not even on this play on my main account. This is one of my clients' account I'm trading for. I'm at 160% on his account. Cool. GL. Yeah. No, bar looks pretty good, to be honest with you. I'm going to pull up the chart here in a second. Yeah. Let's look into, let's just look at bar real quick. So it actually closed today at 23.44. So gold was actually down on the day. But as you can see, this year, bar has been doing really well here. We got a low of about $18 a share, and we're up sitting around $23, $24. That's pretty good. And I mean, obviously, this is just breaking out unbelievably here. So on a 3-year chart, we actually have a low of 16. So, we're not at 100% gain since, 2022, but we're getting up there. So, closer to 75%. Pretty cool. On X here, when's AA earnings? So I don't know a lot about the company. I know obviously their earnings are today, but the call isn't until 4 p.m. Central, so 5 p.m. Eastern. So we still got about 40 to 50 minutes on that. I'm still waiting to see if there's any sort of wow. We did have actually a big sell here. 522,000 shares got sold. We did have 195,000 shares get bought on DFS. That's interesting. Let me quickly go back and look at LVS. Nothing really there. Not seeing any. Well, actually, wow, we have a big buy here. 401,000 shares. Interesting. Yeah, let me go back to AA. So Alcoa, like I said, don't know a lot about it. We're starting to push here now. So I wonder if the number has come out. Alcoa adjusted negative 81 may not compare to the 55 estimate. So they actually beat their sales estimates. So their estimate was 2.56 billion and they actually got 2.6. So, they made about 40 million more than expected. However, the adjusted EPS was lower than expected. So to me, that's negative, but hey, stock's pushing. So maybe they actually thought it could have been worse. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Gotten a push for about $2 here from 35 to 37 here. We had a high of the day at 37.48. See if we can take that out. But like I said earlier, pretty big sell here, 522,000 shares. Whoops. I want to get some big fat gold bars to keep in my safe. Yeah, I mean, I think just the fact of having physical gold is pretty cool. However, it's just kind of a pain to get. I don't have any, but just like you said, Duco, it would be kind of cool. Got a good 725 people in here on Twitter. So I'll say it again. If you guys have questions about other tickers, be more than happy to answer that. I did take one small trade today on Tesla to the downside. Very small scalp, nothing too fancy. Small green day for me. Yesterday was big, so I wasn't really looking to push it. And I was happy with what we had today. So like I said, nothing crazy. Market didn't do a whole lot. We've had a big move the last 2 days, so wasn't expecting a whole lot. You should have took some SPY puts they ran. Yeah, I mean, SPY did come down today pretty nicely. This, pretty clean move down here in the 500 level. So I would expect to see some sort of support here on SPY. Obviously, 500 is going to act as just kind of a key level. If we can break under 500, maybe we can start seeing another slip down into the 490, 495 range. Do I think that there's going to be some sort of bounce here? From a relief standpoint, just because we've fallen off so much, yes. Is that guaranteed? I don't know if it's guaranteed or not, but we definitely could, just because, like I said, we're at this $500 level. Could see some buying pressure, but with the turmoil going on in the Middle East, if things do get worse there, I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to fall. Nice, Jay. Good trade there on SPY. I'm just not really a big SPY trader. I watch SPY on a day-to-day basis, but I use it more as an indicator because obviously SPY is a future. just, obviously like ES, NQ, QQQ, stuff like that. So I actually watch the futures to gauge how my stocks are moving within those. So that's where I can see some divergence, whether my stock is weaker or stronger than the overall market, stuff like that. But you trade 0 DTEs, I trade Q and SPY daily. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, nothing wrong with that. If it works and you make money, then maybe that's your niche. Stick to it. Let's go back to Alcoa here. Still a little slow. I'm not going to stick around for a full hour, though, until the call. So I hope that maybe this has a little bit more of a move, but I do think that their estimates and earnings are already out for the most part, and then this could just kind of chill out until the earnings call in about 45 minutes. Let's go back to LVS. Little dip, little pop, kind of flat here. Their earnings call is in 14 minutes, so I'll stick around for that. And then DFS, let's see if their numbers have come out. Not yet. Q1 print, these most accurate analysts revised forecasts ahead of earnings call. Let's see. Analysts expect to see a 295 a share EPS, down from 358. So we're actually expecting this to be negative. But like I said, there's actually another big buy here, 195,000. So I guess it's the same one. So we'll see. We'll see what old Discover wants to do. Banks have been struggling a little bit, so it'll be interesting for sure. What else you guys got? Any questions on today? Any other tickers you want me to look at? More than happy to answer whatever you guys have. That's what I'm here for. Discover falling back down. Tesla. So obviously there was some negative news recently on the possibility of layoffs, and I think it was a leak saying that there might be a 10% layoff of all employees. The number actually came out today at 14%. So that was interesting. It was actually, obviously more than what people thought. So yesterday's low, 153.75. Today, we kind of hit right off that. Ended up bouncing all the way up through high a day, then closed decently weak. So tomorrow, I think that's probably going to be one of my main watches. I really hope that we don't end up breaking pre-market down to the downside, just so we can get this 153.75 level. And that might give us room to have a move all the way down to 150 and maybe even below, depending on how people take this. We're obviously under this 160 key support here. So I've missed Tesla. Usually it's something I can trade quite a bit, but just really haven't gotten many setups in the past couple months until recently. So like I said, really nice trade on it yesterday, small trade on it today. And tomorrow it's setting up to maybe give us another good trade. So I will be live trading and streaming for free tomorrow morning. I always start 10 minutes before the open to do a little pre-market review. I talk about what I'm looking at, what contracts I'm looking at, how I want the play to play out exactly how I want. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Apple was the other one I was looking at today to the downside, but I figured it was probably too far away. So yeah, closed on lows though. So if we can open up under 168, maybe see a little pop off the open and then a nice sell off through low a day. We do have a low here at 167.11, and I wouldn't be surprised to see this start continuing here. We had a crazy rip on that last week, kind of out of nowhere. I was waiting for a nice breakdown under 168. We ended up catching this move here under 168 down to 167. However, it ended up bouncing. So now it was just kind of a patience game. Luckily, Apple's come all the way back down, and I'm going to be watching that tomorrow. So once again, just like I was watching today, I'm going to be paying attention to Tesla and Apple to the downside. So hopefully we get some good trades there. Discover really not moving right now. LVS still not doing a whole lot. Here we are down a little bit from close. Alcoa up here a little bit, but not even through the high of day just yet. So we'll see what happens. Almost 1,000 people over here on Twitter. What's going on, everybody? Like I said before, you're more than welcome to ask whatever questions you want. I can see them. You have to comment in the live stream, though. But yeah, so I don't know. Tomorrow could be kind of exciting. Apple and Tesla looks like some really good setups for me from a day trading perspective to the downside. So we'll see what happens. You want to see DFS at 126. Yeah, I mean, Discover is not something that moves that aggressively. So let me actually just take this off here and just so we have one screen. So DFS, just not something that has a lot of volume day to day. It's not a very volatile stock. The only problem I'm seeing here, though, is check out this gap. The gap has, roughly, let's see, 18 to about 110. So, about an $8 gap still sitting under. So if things do get rough, which it seems like people are estimating, this actually could end up falling. Like I said, not really something that I'm super interested in from a day trading perspective, but just looking at just bare charts here, we do have a solid gap below that we could start filling, and we could see some selling pressure on that. So we'll see. I don't want to go against your trade there, Stocks Jay, but from a chart perspective, downside looks very doable, but they could always beat estimates and get a crazy rip. For a crazy move to the upside, you actually want there to be some sort of negative sentiment, people to expect it to do bad, and then that's when you can actually get that change in momentum there if they can beat estimates kind of unexpectedly, and then that's where you get that crazy squeeze to the upside. So we'll see. I'm just not a guy who's going to swing earnings. I've had plenty of times where it doesn't work out, in the past. So it's just not something that I do anymore. I haven't swung earnings in years now, just for that reason. It's very hard to make money. But if you understand that it is somewhat of a gambling aspect where you can easily lose a big chunk, if not all of your position, and you go in with a very small amount that you're willing to lose, then I don't see anything wrong with it. But, there's no reason to light money on fire that you don't need to. Twitter blowing up here. We got 1,080 people in here. That's awesome. What's going on? Google was something else I noticed today. Had a little bit of strength compared to other things. I'm just going to basically just wait for that to get back up here above 158 and then look to play that around 160. So that was cool. The video, where'd that end up? Wow, nice and down today. 33 and 80 cent dollar move. Interesting. AMD is still super weak here. Micron, I'm sure, pulled back as well. Wow. Intel, same thing. What was one of the other ones? Oh, BA. What's BA? BA is just kind of sitting down here at lows. I had a feeling BA is probably going to base out, but if more and more negative news comes in on this, I know that some of the whistleblowers are, I think they're testifying in court actually. So if worse news comes out, maybe this has another leg down. I don't know how much further that this can go. But obviously, when there's bad news and bad news doesn't stop, this could just trickle all the way down in here, maybe even to 150. And that could be a good long-term buy there. Boeing's not going anywhere. We're just kind of in a rough environment for Boeing, as I'm sure we all know. Let's check out these earnings again here. LVS, nothing crazy. Discover starting to push here. Up at 120.50. I'm guessing the numbers came out. Let's see. Let's see here. EPS 110. Interest expense 4.21 billion. They beat estimates. So interest expense was higher, but they beat estimates. Okay, that's interesting. They had a 1.1 EPS. Total loans 126.6 billion, up 12% year over year. That's good. 1.5 billion in credit losses, though, up 395 million year over year. 2024 net income of 308 million, or 1.10 per diluted share. So they seem to have liked that. However, we're just kind of sitting right at the price that we closed at. So stocks, Jay, I don't know that a report has come out yet. These are just the numbers that I'm seeing right now. So we'll see. Like I said, their earnings call, their earnings call is actually tomorrow morning, which is interesting. That their earnings are going to come out post market, or after hours today, and they don't even do the call until tomorrow morning. So yeah, could be flat. That's just the problem with earnings, though. Sometimes it just goes flat, and then anyone who has calls or puts will lose because of the IV crush. So we'll see. Starting to push you a little bit. There you go, 121. Let's go back to Alcoa. Twitter, you guys are quiet. There's a lot of y'all there. Like I said, ask whatever you guys want. I'll be here for another maybe 10, 15 minutes. That's about it. These earnings are probably going to start chilling out until their earnings calls start happening, and then you may see some more movement, but I'm not going to wait around for over an hour for that to happen, especially because I'm not involved in any of these. But Alcoa, nothing crazy here. Closed at, let's see, where did we close today? Closed at 35.57, and we're sitting at 36.80, 36.90 here. So not a terrible move. Nothing super exciting. Seeing some wicks here in Discover. Las Vegas Sands just kind of chilling out. Look at their numbers, already out 0.75. So the estimate was actually 0.62, and they beat estimates at 0.75, and the stock's down. So just kind of another example of actually doing good, but not good enough. Not good enough to make the stock rip. Surprised there's no questions, guys. No other tickers you want me to look at. Where's Bitcoin at these days? Wow, all the way back down to 61. We hit a low of 59,000 today. Pretty solid pullback. That actually, that was a bullish pattern up in here. I thought we may even see a breakout on, but nope, pulled right back. Obviously, the entire market came down. So, with the Iran and Israel stuff going on, so it kind of makes sense. That's just another example of a chart pattern looking really good, and an outside force comes in and screws it up. What's your thought on target calls? One of my accounts are in target calls, and I'm swinging it in my cord. So I'm guessing that means you have another Discord that you run. That's interesting. Nikki, I don't know what you want to do with that. Target, though. Yeah, interesting. You're swinging calls. It's been decent here. Decently strong, and we've just gotten a little pullback here. So I don't know if that's going to continue or not. It looks like it needs to hold this 160 level. I do notice a gap here, though, from the last earnings. So the gap was here. We already did fill some of it. So I don't know. What do we got? Another 62 down to, call it 52. So, $10-ish left on that gap. We will see. I don't know. There's really just not much else I can tell you there, Stocks Jay. Do you have any sort of news reports that you like? or are you simply just buying a dip on this and hoping for it to bounce? What's the trade idea there? LVS still down a little bit. Alcoa barely up still. And then what was the other one? Uh, Discover up at 120. We've bounced twice off support today. Yeah, we did. I'm just not much of a reversal trader. It's just not really what I do. I am more of a breakout and breakdown kind of guy. So I'm actually looking for stuff to break through support or resistance. So, but I see what you mean. Discover though, decently strong here, but obviously we had that pullback right at market close. So maybe that ends up ripping higher, or maybe we just kind of chill out here at 121. Again, just going to reiterate this. These aren't that exciting names. I don't expect any crazy move. Like we do have Tesla next week, I believe. And then we have Netflix tomorrow. So Netflix is going to be an interesting one at close. We do have a stream for that for anyone that does want to watch that. Obviously it'll be on all platforms, so that'll be good. Mr. Swinging Bull will be taking care of that one, I believe, or maybe it's Lee, one of the two, Mr. SLP. But one of those guys are going to be taking care of the Netflix earnings. That'll be an exciting one. We're close to all-time highs on that. All-time high is around 700, and we're sitting just above 600. So Netflix is known to have some crazy earnings move. I mean, back here, 492 up to 536, so roughly a 50-point move there. If we see a 50-point move there, maybe we end up seeing up close to the 675 area, and it might be off to the races for all-time highs again. We'll see. I just like the way Target looked after this double bottom touching support. Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Double bottom is obviously a decent, the only criticism I would have on that is, you're looking at an intraday support. You're not looking at a big time frame support. So, I mean, really, I think the bigger time frame support will be kind of more around 162.50 to 160. That to me could act as support. I think you're just, you're looking at an intraday support. So it's just not as significant as a yearly chart or a weekly chart or a 4-hour chart would be. But if you're looking for kind of a short-term swing there, that could work. But yeah, guys, so that's probably it for me. I will wait for 1 or 2 minutes if there's any last-minute questions. Once again, anyone on Twitter or Twitch or YouTube, you can ask as well, and I can see those. So there's quite a few of you guys in there, so I'm surprised I'm not seeing any questions as of yet. So, we have about 1,200 people watching there. I'm sure one of you guys has some sort of question, but if not, then we'll wrap things up. Duco, thanks as always, my man. Be ready for tomorrow. It could be exciting. I hope all of you join live trading tomorrow with me. Like I said, it is free. It will be streamed on all platforms. So I'm excited for it. Apple and Tesla downside. Brandon Ducar, what's your hair care routine? Don't really have one, my friend. Don't really have one. You can notice I'm wearing a hat. So Yeah, I did get a question on Twitter, Duco. Not stocks related though, but I'm wearing a hat too, so it's interesting, but I'll take it. Well, guys, that's not really seeing anything from y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here. Thanks as always for tuning in. I'll take a look at these tickers one last time here, though. LVS still under the closing price here. Seen a little bit of a pop. Oh wow, and a spike in volume here. 948,000 share buy. That's pretty big. What is that? Close to a $50 million position there, or $50 million order. That's cool. Any hair product stocks? No, I don't know of any. I don't know of any hair product stocks. I'm sure that there's some sort of beauty stocks like Ulta or whatever, but nothing really on my radar. DFS, yeah, just kind of chopped around. I mean, again, this doesn't really even have volume during the day, so I can't expect that big of a move here unless there's some sort of outlandish earnings number that comes out, which doesn't seem like is happening. And then the last one here, Alcoa, decently strong here. So maybe, excuse me, maybe that ends up making a move. We'll see. It's not even to the high of day yet, though. But my wife loves Ulta. My paychecks go there. Yeah, I can imagine the girls love Ulta. But yeah, guys. So that's about it. Small, kind of muted moves here. Nothing too exciting. But like I said, again, live trading tomorrow morning at starts 10 minutes before the open for a pre-market review. I hope to see you all there. It looks like there could be some exciting trades. Everybody cross your fingers that the market doesn't completely crash overnight and kills those levels for us. Because if we can hold up and those levels stay intact, could be a good way to close out the week. So for you premium guys or anyone that is looking to join premium, I am doing a premium lesson tomorrow night as per usual. And I will be going over day trading strategies for equities and options. So going over scalping, going over momentum trading, breakout trading, supply and demand, reversal type stuff. So kind of going to hit every box there. So that should be a good one. I need to get a nice little slideshow going for everybody with some examples. And yeah, DM Nikki if you have any questions on signing up. I would love to see some more premium members come in because it's been really fun. The premium guys have been killing it. So, but without further ado, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Like I said, thanks for tuning in. It's always fun, and I will see y'all in the morning.